Tony Hadley, lead singer of Spandau Ballet. Boy, he made this song his own. I think he put one of his finest vocal performances on the song. His voice just drifts. It drifts and yet it hits you with such passion, almost like a missile. And the music, the synthesizer, just blowing gently, audio-wise. It's a beautiful record. Man, it wasn't until the mid-2000s before I really appreciated this record. And it haunted me. It evokes images, montages of moonlit kisses, sunlit hugs, romance, the possibilities of romance, budding relationships, and something perhaps even more sublime than that. But you know, a writer, when a person writes a song, sometimes they have a completely different interpretation. Or perhaps sometimes no interpretation at all, and let the reader or the listener fill in the blanks. On this particular record, Gary Kemp, there were two brothers in this band, Gary and Martin Kemp. For all practical purposes, they got together on this song. And Gary Kemp, he was having fun. It started out with him spoofing, having fun, doing a parody of James Bond themes, specifically Goldfinger. He got together with his brother. There was Martin Kemp, bass player. He started fooling around with the bass, and Gary Kemp was writing lyrics, and they got the song going in the right direction. And there you go, gold. One song with a gold-plated smile. What a beautiful record. What a great synthesizer. And God, I guess it's one of my favorite songs on this fancy playlist. It's timeless. It's a timeless record. And yet, it was not one of their biggest hits in America. That is the damn frustrating thing about Spandau Ballet. Here in the States, they're best known for True. Everybody remembers True, but nobody remembers this song here in the States. Nobody remembers Gold, and Only When You Leave. Now, that went to number 34. That's it. In 1984. Fell in love with that record. Remember watching that video on Night Tracks in 1984. And the thing about it is, and I know most people, the vast majority of people are casual listeners. They're not into music, well, like I'm into it, into the charts. And, well, everybody's got different interests and they're too busy, and I can understand that. But it is frustrating. As a matter of fact, now Spandau Ballet, before they came out with True, in England, they're from England, their first performance was at the Blitz Club in London. Live performance. Well, that first performance, Blitz Club in London in 1979, late 1979, among the Pied Pipers of the New Romantics, like Visage and Duran Duran. Trying to collect my train of thought, I lost it. I'm losing it. I'm losing my marbles over this beautiful record. They had 3 top 10 hits in England before True came out here in the States. Of course, it was massive in England, too. Their first hit record, to cut a long story short, in 1981. That was a top 10 in England, a new wave sounding record. And then they came out with Musclebound in 1981. That was a top 10, top 20 in England, a little bit more harder edged than the previous single. And then they came out with Chant, number 10 or something like that, in 1981, which is very chic-like record. Got a great little funk bass thing going in the record. Their first, and these songs, they did okay on the dance charts here in America, but wasn't played on the pop stations here in the States. Communication came out early in 1983, but that only went to number 59 on Billboard's Hot 100, but it was Spandau Ballet's first entry into the Hot 100. Then True, what can I say, went to number 1. And then Gold. Gold peaked at number 29 here in the United States. That is it. Should have done much better. Went to number 2 in England. KC and the Sunshine Band's Give It Up kept Gold out of the number 1 spot in England. 1983. In the video was shot in Spain. Now, I found this out. Now, the Kemp brothers, they eventually became actors, and I found out, I didn't know this, Gary Kemp, who was the chief songwriter of Spandau Ballet, he appeared in a film with Whitney Houston called Bodyguard. He played Whitney Houston's manager in Bodyguard in 1992. One of the actresses in the video, her name, Sadie, S-A-D-I-E, Sadie Frost, who later became a fashion designer. She was going out with Gary Kemp. She was about 17, 18, 19 years old when she was in this video, Gold. She played the gold colored or gold painted nymph or character in the video. And she later married Gary Kemp and appeared with him in a TV show or movie later on. But I have to say, I got to give it to Tony Hadley. He banged it up, man. He banged it up on this record. Listen how he sings low. It just his voice. It seems like it caresses you. It's like it just does this, and then it just bombards you with just sheer angst, sheer passion. His voice just blows right through the octaves. Probably mispronounced that word. Well, Spandau, but God, I still, man, this is one gold-plated smile, this record. Ethereal, and yet just down to earth at the same time. Gold, Spandau Ballet, debuting at number 38 on my fantasy playlist, November 20th, 1983.